What's going on, guys? Welcome to another session with Phrankleen. If you're watching this as a playback, thank you for doing so. I hope you enjoy the session. If this is your first time landing on this channel, I appreciate your presence. All right. If you can hear me, you can see me, give us a like button. If this is your first time, so I'm just going to give you a quick background. My name is Phrankleen. I'm the brain behind this platform. Excuse me. This is a segment called Say It Like It Is, whereby we deal with eclectic topics. People send me their stories to foodchannel1960@gmail.com. If you look in the description below, you find my email address. All right. So here we are. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. So these segment, for the purposes of those that might be might have joined us for the first time. This segment is called Say It Like It Is. People send in their stories, and if they resonate with me, if I believe we can learn one or two things from, I'll convert it to a live stream like this. But like I said a few days ago, actually, I want to go back to uploading, scheduled uploads pretty much. So 3 times a week at about 6 p.m. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So, but today, a live stream. Hopefully on Wednesday it'll be a pre-recorded content, and then on Friday. All right, just to get the consistency back to the platform, so that people are aware when my content go live. So, if you're watching this before we crack on, these episode is sponsored by Adron Homes and Properties. I've got quite a good partnership with them. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you can see the information scrolling. Adron Homes and Properties based in Nigeria, and the beautiful thing about it is they have properties across the nation, and you can buy outrightly or you can buy in installment, particularly you diasporans who are looking to own assets for investment purposes or to build lovely homes within well looked after estates. So if that's something you are interested in, just send me an email to my email address as it is at the bottom of the screen scrolling, or you can look in the description of the video, whichever works for you. Just send me an email and say, Phrankleen, please send me the application pack for Adron Homes. So they've got fantastic offers going on at the moment. Like I say, you can buy outrightly. You can put down installment, a deposit, and pay an installment in 6 months, 12 months, and or in 24 months. And also, there was a 50% discount if you would like to buy your land outrightly at the moment. So, which is fascinating. I'll be your BD, Business Development Officer, executive. So basically, my job is to reconcile, your payments with the relevant departments, help chase your paperwork. You're not paying a dime to me directly. It goes into the company's business account. Should you decide to buy a parcel or parcels of land, I hope that helps. So that's that. So let's crack on with the rest of the show, shall we? What's going on, man? Hello. Right. So these ladies, it's a fairly straightforward, story. If I'm streaming via StreamYard, so if you want to contribute, maybe I can let people dial in. So this lady sent me a bit of a long-winded email saying, she met her husband back in Nigeria when they were like a bit younger, just only a few years back. And, so they, some years back. So she, for some reason, they were dating at the time. And then for some reason, she decided to go abroad, to the UK. And then she moved to the UK with the help of some relatives who were already like citizens in the country. So she stayed with them for a bit. And then eventually she kind of linked up with him over the phone. And they were talking about how he would come in and all that stuff. So eventually, she was able to bring him to the UK on a relevant visa, right? By the time years later that he was able to get in, they were doing this long distance, relationship over the phone, WhatsApp, and whatever, electronically, to put it quite simply. So she had already kind of found the footings, and she basically works in the IT sector, according to the email, and she's earning up there as a contractor and all of that. So she's in love with his brother. So he comes in now, boom, eventually, got her pregnant. They had a lovely baby girl. And so she said that she was covering most of the bill. She had no problems, she's in love. Whatever works for you. I've always said that, each relationship is unique to the parties involved, right? So smash the like button. Please smash the like button. Follow me on Instagram if you got an Instagram account, if it's your cup of tea, at Phrankleen. Exactly the same spelling as it is on my YouTube channel. All right. So anyway, let's crack on. So they had a child. So she said eventually the husband was able to get a job. All right. So, but there is a gap in their earning capabilities, their pay packs at the end of the month, right? She claims she loves him. Oh, they're happy together, blah, 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 which quite contradictory in my opinion, but I'll crack on. So now, the forces in the background, particularly her dad, and then of course dad and mom, but particularly her dad. So they kind of meddle into put their snout in their affairs, and they're always sizing up the guy. And then she did highlight, like from day dot, from way back when they started dating from back home, parents didn't really approve of the relationship. I asked why, if I may, I asked her in an email that what was the problem? There was nothing concrete. It's just they didn't like him. Dad wanted her to get with a particular guy who was the son of a particular deacon in their church, right? You get that stuff. So they were trying to dictate, and then she refused. So they already had internalized resentment towards the geezer. So fine. So now they're settled here in the UK. So the brother is working. He works in the education sector. So it was, so she says, and also, oh, good question. How did the parents know that she's earning more? She must have told mommy and daddy. Of course, that's a very good question. She definitely told her parents. I like that. So, and she had gone to extensively discussed also her husband's, paycheck. So she's banging on about, I'm a contractor, blah, 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 blah. I suspect they live in Kent. So I'm joking. So they've had these sort of back and forth. This created, friction in the relationship. So there's this unnecessary pressure on the gentleman, but she's earns a lot more being a contractor, and then he works in the education sector, earns and then contributes reasonably. Of course, she pays more. She claims to pay more in terms of outgoing bills because she earns more, blah, blah, blah. So what's the problem then? You have a lovely daughter. You're looking to expand, your nuclear family a little bit more with a couple of kids, right? So now, what's up, Rita? I know you're probably mad at me, Rita. I'll email you tonight. I know. You know, and I know. So, the dad particularly started putting his snout in there. Marriage. So there will be this odd remark about, suddenly they'll come to their house under the pretense that they were coming to spend a bit of time. And then there would be, the dad would create, a scenario of just randomly stop the man in his tracks in their matrimonial home. Like, hey, such and such, what's going on? As a man, you should do better. Your wife told me, wow, about your job, that you are earning this much. I'm not saying there's anything wrong, but don't you think it makes you less of a man that your wife earns more than you? I mean, I'm not saying I have a problem, so they say, but they come in and gaslight the man, right? And they throw in their bombshell. And then she's sort of on the edge of the fence, allowing that to run, allowing that to happen. Even the nicest individuals, you're laid back by nature, you choose not to talk. I mean, if people patronize you like that, you will get to a breaking point. I think it's absolutely, below the belt. So they would always make the snide remarks that, you should do better. In Yoruba, like, basically, are you going to allow a woman? It's a very poisonous, what they present to you like a bit of a joke. It's not a joke. It's a very poisonous type of interaction, digging into you and belittling you, whilst their daughter is standing there meters away and does nothing about it. And then she said, once the parents leave, the husband will flare up, and of course there'll be argument. It would explode, and then she would say, you are overreacting. I'm the one that, wait, oh man. Even telling your partner that they are overreacting, that in itself is another bombshell. It's a slap in the face. So I'm going somewhere with this. And then, of course, what the parents have done is they've activated what I call hypergamy in their daughter. If she didn't have that, by default setting anyway, but they activated the hypergamy, and the hypergamous thought process is, you're earning this much, you got to find a better man. They see him as not being man enough for her. And of course, she then started toiling with the thought as well. She said, well, I kind of discussed this with a couple of my girlfriends. Wow, further gasoline. So basically, you left the door open for further third parties now. And I can't really blame third parties in this context, because the moment you leave the door open, man, the third parties will basically run their comments based on what you've put before them. So we can't exactly knock them. But most of the time, it's poisonous. So her so-called girlfriends then say, you got to do better, blah, 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 blah. Oh, he's intentionally not wanting to do better monetarily because he knows that you're earning more money anyway. The poison was too much. Now, she then had the audacity. You see, all this is happening in chronological order. Yet she would interject in the email and say, don't get me wrong, Phrankleen, I love him. Honestly, when I was reading it, I was like that. Honestly. So I kept on reading, scrolling. And then she said, all I said was, to put this matter to bed, maybe you should try to earn more as well. I'm not saying it's a problem, but I believe it would help make our relationship a lot better. What? Now, how do you, I don't know, man. I cannot make this up. This is I love that. Somebody said this is torture, not love. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I hope she's listening now. I told her I was going to run a video, a live stream on my channel. So hopefully she's listening. Or maybe she would watch this later on if she's busy. And then she said, you know, her dad, then they went to the dad's house one particular day. It was the dad's birthday. And then husband got a particular present, which she didn't tell me what the present was, but she said it was quite befitting for her dad, right? His father-in-law, for his birthday. So then the dad said he waited that the whole living room was packed. He opened the gift and she said, "Oh, thank you. You know, like I was saying, if you were earning more, you know, I did tell you that I love certain type of shoes. You would have thought to do better and get me that particular. I gave you hint. You would have, but of course, you know, you can't afford those shoes because of your earning capability. It takes us back to what I was trying to tell you, but you think." So on that particular night, the husband mentally reached a breaking point, and he dragged the father-in-law, not physically, but he went ape shit crazy. He tore the place to shreds. He gave it to them. You dig? As per Phrankleen, no time, man. So he gave it to them. He went in, and then she was just like, "Oh, I'm just gonna say, Bode. Oh, Bode, you're doing too much. That's my father." Or there. Bode, if you know you love me, stop talking like that to my dad. These very moment, Bode, this is gonna affect our union. You're mad. You die for what? That dear. Hey man, look. That's just crazy. That's just like you took that man, you stripped him of his integrity, you belittled him, you turned him to a doormat. You dig? Don't address my dad like that. At the end of the day, he's old enough to give birth to you. But then you will apologize to my dad tonight. If you don't, I'm not lying in that bed with you. But I'm serious. Marshall. Go back inside now and tell daddy, tell papa, tell daddy that you're sorry. Hey, Willie Bees, man. Hey, yo. Gonna die for my apology. You get me? Oh, snap. Even weaponizing your presence with me in our matrimonial bed, basically telling me, do you see that there's layers to this? You're probably already weaponizing your presence in the bedroom, weaponizing your sugar walls now. I'm not sure. If you don't apologize to my papa, my daddy, I will remove myself from that bedroom. Going to die from where? It's crazy, man. So then she said, surprise, surprise, her husband in the last couple of paragraphs. So dude said he's done with the marriage. He's, basically he's filed for divorce. And then she's asked me, Phrankleen, do you not think she's trying to, sort of adjust my brain to cater to her narrative? Do you not think he's blowing this out of proportion? I have never cheated on him. You think that's what this is about? I love him. Blah, 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 blah. I was the one that paid for his application when he was coming to the UK. So bloody what? So bloody what? So that gives you the right to walk all over him like a doormat. That gives you the right to throw him to the wolves and allow your dad and mom to belittle your husband and turn him to a doormat. That's pretty much the story. If anyone wants to dial in, I'll let you in. But this is my own take. It's absolutely bonkers. I love what that person said earlier, because I was going to say that anyway. That's the first thing is, why would you discuss your partner's earnings with your parents? Why? There's quite a lot of women and men that do that. The question is, why? Why would you do that? Why will you take that, oh, you're earning X amount of money, this is what your partner is earning, and put that before your parents? Why? What exactly is the desired outcome? Where are you going with this? Do you get what I'm saying? So he has what he needs to leave him alone, and peace on the big girl panties and something. They want to use him as a piggy bank. Well, they may actually not want to use him as a piggy bank. It's just the idea of this condescending parents. It happens. There's some parents are control freaks as well. They're narcissistic. So it's that not recognizing boundaries. If the parents themselves have these values whereby, let's say that their daughter came running, her mouth like a bathroom tap. Oh, dad, my husband, I would have been the type of father like, shut up. Don't ever come to me with that nonsense, right? You saw him before you chose him. Whatever be your pay pack, keep it in your relationship. So when you shut your daughter or your son down real quick, faster than the speed of light, they would know that you're not the type of parent that's wired for that nonsense. Do you understand? You would use that medium, that avenue, to talk sense, put sense in their cranium. Do you understand? And hopefully they might be able to pick one or two things that will benefit their relationship down the line. That's how you infuse positivity. But I think what backfired for this lady as well is you could tell the way she was brought up. She's a daddy's girl. Her life is totally controlled by the parents. So they, they believe they have the right to put their snout. And I don't see the way I'm wired, the universe is yet to create such in-laws that will run their mouth like a bathroom tap and talk crap to me on that level. I believe in disseminating respect and all that for elders. But the moment, you see, the confines of that relationship is me and your daughter. So then the moment you have a woman, your wife, your partner, or your husband, throw you to the wolves, and she's actually the one that leaves the gate of that relationship open for third parties. Oh, yeah, I told my girlfriend said. Do you understand? You don't do that, man. The moment, come on, man, might as well just go your separate ways. Let me get the link so that people can click on it, man. It's absolutely nuts. It's just crazy. Let me get the link, man. I've got to say something before I forget. And I understand people have the right to make their choices in life. There are tons of people, relationships, marriages, relationships out there where the woman might be earning more than the men, and they have children, and they live happily. They have a good life. Do you understand? They have a good life. If you want to join the studio, click on that link. They have a good life, But of course, I also understand that most women have a hypergamous type of mindset. So what it means in the nutshell is, if they're earning this much, they basically, because they are hunting for security now. They want a man that earns a lot more than them. You understand? And they attach respect or love or level of affection that they would disseminate to such type of band. Now, so if for whatever reason, organically or not, the man's earning lesser than them, they see it as grounds to disrespect the man, to violate him, or to treat him as less of a man. It's weird though. It's very easy for men who have higher earning capabilities to just be with a woman that earns less than them. Men do that all the time, but most women, they are basically hypergamous by nature. So that's one of the core things so her parents ignited the hypergamy thought process, and her friends, so-called girlfriends, amplified it by throwing in gasoline by way of toxic contribution. And of course, this woman is desperately stupid herself, and absolutely destroyed what would have been a very healthy relationship. You know what I'm saying? So the brother now is filed for divorce, as issued. You have your father talking trash about your man. I don't think because you earn more makes him less of a man. That's perhaps I don't know, the societal conditioning in the Western nonsense. There's nothing wrong. Doesn't make him less of a man. It could have been one of the best dads in the world, man. Earning shouldn't determine a smooth flow of a relationship. But I kid you not, man. Earnings determine it. The worst one for me, there are some women, what they effectively bring to the table is just pair of tits, their bum, and what's between their legs. Trust me, there are some women. There's actually a ton of them out there. They are usually the loudest. I want a man that will take care of me. God forbid, I can't be with Uli. You want a man earning the type of money that your dad never earned in his lifetime. And then they look at you, what the bloody hell are you bringing to the table? And then such women are the ones that usually come across as if having babies or bringing babies to life is a massive favor for the man. No, it's not. No, it's not. You're not doing anybody favors. It's just joint responsibility, man. Biologically, that's how you're wired. You're not doing the man a favor. There's no rule in law that says that. That's just nonsense that the society has made up. Click on the link, man. Are you guys shy? I want you to come and contribute. Click the link. Come on, do you know what I mean? And you know what, man? I can't knock a woman for being hypergamous, It's okay. But I'm just saying that most women are, hypergamous by nature. Some women out there, as long as there is true bond, there is emotional amalgamation and trueness, honesty, trust in that relationship, they are happy. The love, there's mutual love and they're building together. Some women are fine. Some women are absolutely fine. But the number of women that are wired like that mentally is like this. So let's say, for example, somebody's earning £40,000 a year. And then, okay, based on your career path, and then you happen to do some professional qualifications and whatnot, and it propels your earnings. It's admirable. There's nothing wrong. You've not done anything wrong. So you then start to disseminate undue pressure in the direction of your partner that they need to quickly do more and meet you up there. If he doesn't, he becomes less of a man. Oh, the attraction starts to diminish. Steve, who is in your project team in the office, because he earns similarly to you now, becomes a better man. And Steve repeatedly starts to smash you in the gentleman's toilet because your husband earns 40K, and then maybe you've moved up in ranks because you're a contractor, you're earning 90 or 100K a year. I get that. Hello, Miss Ali. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good
Hello, good
evening. How
evening.
are
I'm good. Wow. I'm sure people are not dialing in because they're very shocked by the story, and it's a tragedy. I just want to say that this story is very timely because these are the type of marriages we're seeing these days.
you?
Marriage
Yep.
of convenience, marriage because of a
Ah,
particular
I
thing.
like that. Convenience.
Yeah. Um, I wanted to say that okay, it's easy to critique people and no, not introspect. Um, I think I also share similarities with this woman, and she didn't heal herself of the being the daddy's girl. Okay, we
Hmm.
we women we tend to hold our fathers in high esteem. I'm one of those ladies that like I really love my father to pieces. Like everything was about him. I loved him, my four sisters and I. So I found out that okay, any relationship that I was in, I was always using my father as the yardstick. Though my father is a good father, but I can't marry him, and I'm not going to marry a man like him. So I had to step back and like heal myself of like sever the umbilical cord by myself. I had to cut it off. Like when my dad tells me do this, even if I can do it, even if I couldn't do it and inconvenient myself, I'll say yes. But I started saying no so that I'll be able to, sever myself from that relationship before I could enter a proper relationship. And until and unless you do that, you cannot sustain a good relationship. And I always tell people that you're not ready to get married until you are by yourself independent. This lady was not independent. She wasn't independent. She kept running back to daddy. She kept running back to daddy, and she and daddy were in cahoots. And then she and daddy has spoiled her relationship, something that she's going to regret in the long run.
Yeah.
It's a travesty, really. But these are the types of marriages that we're seeing these days. Marriage is a contract. We know it's a contract, and you should leave people to enter into agreements by themselves. But parents these days are meddling. I call them meddlesome interlopers and busybodies. They're just meddlesome interlopers and busybodies. They're just going into the marriage anyhow, left, right, and center, and you can't really talk to them. So if you stand up and talk to them, they'll tell you you're being rude. But an elder who doesn't respect himself should be put in his place. I like the way that her husband talked to back to him. He will never forget till he dies. And
But why
thumbs
is it
up
that
to him.
I get what you're saying? Let me ask you. Why is it that you see from creating content, these type of content on my channel, I've had so many people. They recognize everything that you've said and everything that I've said up until this point. But why is it that a lot of these people, like, I'm not saying it's a crime, like you said, like you had a good relationship with your dad and all that, but you're an adult now. You've amalgamated your feelings with someone else. So you should be grown enough to just draw boundaries, don't you think?
Uh, I think so. It's a two-way thing. The father and the daughter should, come to that understanding that, okay, we are both adults. My father has his wife and I want to be in a relationship, but the father is also enabling it. So you who owns yourself and you tell yourself, I had to have a pep talk with myself. I had to talk to myself. My dad has lived his life. My dad is 64. He's 64,
Yeah.
he's lived his life, and I'm still clinging on to him. And I have a group of friends who are like, most of my friends are like this. We keep calling our fathers in relationships that it doesn't go well. You keep saying my father did this, but you're not going to marry your dad. So you
That's
move
right.
away from him. I even had to move away from the house. I had to leave the house. I had to stop calling my dad in decisions that I make. I had to
Did you
start
cry?
making my no, I didn't cry. It actually feels good. Okay, actually, initially, I missed my dad. Like, I really love my dad. I still love him, but you can love somebody from a distance. And I think
Yeah.
the love, even, it heightens when you're away because there's this heightened level of respect because you're now dialoguing as adults, not as, tag along daughter. Because, like, now he calls me for my opinion and I ask him for his opinion. So when I want to do something, I'm merely informing him. I'm not asking for his permission. I'm informing
That's
him,
right.
Dad, this is what I want to do. I'm not saying, Dad, can I do this? So when I take the phone and call, I'm just calling you out of courtesy, Dad, this is what I want to do. I'm not asking you to tell me yes or no. And then when they understand that, they'll sit and think and they'll be like, oh yeah, thank God I have a daughter now. Because in the long run, they'll also be proud of you. But when they say jump and you say how high, they'll even keep calling you a mumu at the end. So this is how I see it. You have to take the initiative to. It's very difficult. It's something I had to move away to do that. In Abuja, you don't get you don't get parents and children living apart. Relatives criticized us and everything. I moved away from my father's house. I moved away. This is not something that women do, but I had to do it to cut myself off that.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much. Awesome contribution. Kazim, your mic.
Yeah, how you doing, Franco Nero?
I'm all right, brother.
What's going on?
Not bad. I'm good.
Yeah. So, can you hear me now?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, basically for me.
Yeah, how you doing, Franco Nero? I'm all right. Mute your speaker in the background, please.
Yeah. Okay. So, can you hear me now?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Okay, all right. Yeah, basically for me.
How you doing, Franco Nero? I'm all right. Mute your speaker in the background, please.
Yeah. Okay, the speaker. Okay. Is it okay like this?
Yeah, go on. I can hear you. Go on. I'm all right. Mute your speaker in the background. Wait, maybe there's somebody. Wait, hold on.
Okay, like this?
Yeah, go on. Yeah, but I can hear myself in your background.
It's very strange, actually.
Wait, maybe there's somebody. Wait, hold on. Like this? Yeah. Wait, yeah, but I can. Yeah, it's from you. It's from you. Let me bring on someone else, then try to adjust it. Hi, Rita.
Hello, Mr. Phrankleen. I don't know if you can hear me.
Loud and clear.
Okay, good evening, first and foremost, and good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, well, about this story, I believe this guy has already been seeing these signs before. I mean, the traits of the woman before they got married. So, since he was unable to stop, I mean, I understand the situation.
You mean the red flag?
Yes, exactly. Thank you for understanding. So, since the situation was in a very complicated situation for him to leave during their courtship, I believe this is what I'm only believing, not that I was with him when everything was going fine. So he was unable to stop that red flag. I mean, leave the relationship, and it got to this point that he got fed up. Because you know what? Some of our people, okay, let me put it that way, they see red flags during courtship, during relationship, but they think that the red flags will not have anything to do when they get married. They think marriage resolve everything, which is very wrong. People think that when they get married to someone that is toxic, not only that person, their parents as well, they think that the toxicity will be over when they get married. They think marriage will resolve everything. But that is even when they get married, that is when the whole problem will be a lot more than during the period they were courting.
That's right.
So this guy must have seen loud and clear the red flags, not only on the lady, on the lady's parents as well. So you must be thinking, well, no problem, I will manage everything. I believe when I get married, if I'm the head of the house, my woman will understand me, we will understand each other, and then the whole problem with his parents will be resolved because she would be able to defend him anytime with his parents. So,
but do you know that? Sorry, 1 second. But do you know? I agree 100%. But do you know that it's also possible that you may not really get to see those red flags? It happens.
That is true, Mr. Phrankleen. That is very true. I agree also 100%. But know how, Mr. Phrankleen, we women, we have the intuition. Know how the men we also have. The men will see all the signs as well. But they will never stop. They will keep thinking, oh, They will keep thinking that it's because of love. Love is everything, but love is not everything in marriage. There are so many traits we need to look at before we say I do. So I don't know if you could read my comment first. I said the fault is on the man. The fault is on the man in the first case that he couldn't set boundaries enough. He couldn't set that boundaries that will make sure that the daughter will tell her parents to stop belittling her own husband or her own boyfriend before they get married. Okay, before they got married. So this is how I see it. I am so sorry for the man. He could have set up the boundaries initially before anything. Because in this life, if you want people to respect you, if he's already respecting the girl, there is no problem. The parents are toxic. We already understand that, according to the story. They are toxic. But that he's not getting married to the parents. He's getting married to the lady. So to whom he needs to talk to is with the girl. So if the girl is unable to make sure that she wants her own parents to respect her husband, the main problem is on the man. This is how I see it, Mr. Phrankleen. So you should have set the boundaries in the beginning before this whole situation got busted. Before you could say, "Oh, I'm leaving this marriage."
Right. Thank you.
My point of view, anyway.
Thank you. Thank you, Rita. Chidi.
Hello, man.
Hello, brother.
How are you doing?
I'm all right. Can you speak, get closer to the mic so we can hear you properly?
Yeah, can you hear me better now?
Better now. Yes.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much. Well, it's been a while since I joined on your live transmission, but always good to be able to contribute and also hear the stories that you bring in and how you're helping out people. So keep the job up. One of the reasons why actually I wanted to make comments on this, since you opened the channel for us to contribute, is that I see it on as a two-sided coin. Okay. I somehow, I will put it 50-50. What Rita just said and what the other lady as well said, and then I'll bring in, for example, my own little experience or first-hand experience on this type of situation. So just to make it short, the guy didn't see the red flags. Maybe the red flags actually must have been there, no matter how little they are. I advise our brothers this, and I also, try to take this advice myself, is that you keep your eyes open and also you are sensitive to situations, no matter how little those situations are. If you overlook them, we say a drop of water makes the ocean, right? So
that's right.
The moment you overlooked that tiny thing while they were dating, that's a little thing that will blow up into what it is right now. And peradventure, the brother did not, take sight of this and overlooked it. Now, red flags are always evident and some are not evident. Some you might think it's just something that will come and go. Some you might think, oh, it's not anything, I can just deal with it. But the moment the lady, sees that it is, that this guy does not find any problem or any trouble with what I've done, it will just get to a point where it will be escalated like this one. Now, on the other side, before I go to the other side, so that brothers should always be sensitive to red flags, as no matter how little. For me, I call it out right away. I don't care how they feel. Once I call it out, all I know is that it's for the betterment of the two parties involved, the man and the woman, and every other external factor, we have to deal with it. And so with that being said, on the other side, the girl also was at fault. So let's say, for example, I'm going to use my sister as an example. This is a real situation, okay, real life situation.
Right.
My sister is somewhat of a different.
You got 2 more minutes.
Okay, she's different from most of the girls that I know. Reason is because most of the girls are daddy's girl. All right, their daddies will want to be protective of her, but also they will allow their daddies to be protective of her. My sister is so different. Why? As before she got married, my sister lives in the US right now. My father is in Nigeria. At some point, we were had to like, as much as my father wants to have control and exact control over my sister, in all good-heartedness and how he wants to do it, my sister always see it as a contrast to who she is and how she wants her family to be run. At some point, my sister didn't give my dad her phone number to be in contact with her. He does not have a direct line. So which means that this type of situations cannot happen. And when we give this leverage to our parents, especially, you know, whether it's the guy to the mother or the girl to the father, it opens up a lot of things whereby there's a friction that almost will never be able to be healed in a relationship. So, for example, back to my sister, she keeps it so straightforward with my father. She tells my father what she wants my father to hear, not what my father wants to hear. And we, even the brothers, were like, can't you give him your number? I said, do not ever. And she's so strict that she is very protective of her own family and her relationship with her husband, which I really admire her for. All right. So in this case, I think like it's just a two-way thing. One didn't observe red flags. The other just has blown up maybe a good marriage, which she was having with this guy, regardless of who was making more money than the other. And, you know, also for an example for our brothers, please don't just marry because someone makes more money than you and you think that they can sort out your life for you. I think that is also an error and a mistake which our brothers make, and we have to deal with that as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Loveth.
Hi, Phrankleen.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, not bad. Really, really interesting. I really enjoy watching your show. Just to go straight into the conversation. I think the problem with many of us is that when we see a relationship, I think we approach it like addicts rushing after a fix. So we actually don't look and we jump because we're hoping many times due to cultural belief or religious belief that things are going to sort out themselves. Things don't sort themselves out. And two, a girl will be able to know if a guy is right for her, coming from the way the father actually modeled being a man into her life. So when it comes to emotional incest, many times we as Africans will think that, it's the daddy's favorite daughter or whatever. That's toxic, is unhealthy, right? You're supposed to raise a daughter who should be not extension of you, but separate being from you. Because if you die tomorrow, she needs to be a grown-up woman with senses in her head who should understand that there should be boundaries. So you're not raising a child who is going to be coming back to you like you're reporting to your teacher all the time. It's toxic, right? So at the end of the day, there should be a boundary when you're getting married. Your parents should have limits into your life, right? And they don't have any right for them to come into your home and dictate. And it's even so annoying for the fact that they have to, call the guy and tell the guy that how much are you earning, blah, blah, blah. It's just so annoying and it's toxic. And you can tell she's not grown because many people raise their children to earn a good money, but they don't teach them how to have a good relationship.
That's right.
Having high income is not all that sustain a home. What about the personality? It doesn't exist in African culture, is it? Yeah, we are all chasing after the money. The money is important. Don't get me wrong, but that's not the primary focus. Where is the communication skill? Where's the listening skills, right? Where's the respect? And why would the girl, if they are not so enmeshed, why would she be telling him without not having that respect of individuality and telling him that go and apologize to my dad?
Why would things like this just shock me?
Talking about?
Why would you take your partner's paycheck?
Because she have no self, she does not have any confidence. So
Parents, man.
you know, she doesn't have her own. She doesn't have her own. She have no identity. So because you know, when you are so enmeshed, you really don't know who you are. So you validate yourself from the way your parents actually view you. When daddy say I'm good, so I'm going to do everything to make sure that daddy likes me. So she's not really marrying for herself. She's marrying coming from how they can be able to run the home by her parents.
Fantastic.
So I think a lot of men have to look beyond. I think a lot of men have to really, really be looking beyond a woman's career, right? You have to look beyond a beauty. Because sometimes when you look at, she got a degree, she got this, she got that. Where about the personality? There are a lot of character that will be flying up and down, red flags. He's probably not going to be taking those things into consideration. But at the end of the day, it's going to end up to bite him as well. When a man gets married to a woman, does not mean he have to lose his independence, right? He still need to have his own life. He shouldn't lose his voice. He shouldn't lose his voice. He's rude. He's toxic. Really, really toxic. That's why you see a lot of our people. Trust me. I'm sorry if I'm using, it's just toxic, being around us sometimes,
You're telling
There's
the
no
truth,
respect.
man.
There's no respect. We really don't know where to stop. We really don't know our line. Why do you think Donald Trump puts, what do you guys call it? Put a face. You have to know where you stop, because you can't just come into people's life and you're trying to run their life and you're raising children. You're not letting them know that, listen, I'm your mom, but at the same time, I want to raise you that you can be able to stand on your own and operate, outside of me. I don't want to be controlling your life. Anyway, I just hope a lot of guys, they get to learn that there is more beauty beyond looking at a woman's physical appearance and all that, and a degree, right? A person can go to university, but they can still be dumb in the brain, right? A person can have qualification, but they can still, when they open their mouth, you can tell that this person is really is nada.
There's no critical thinking.
An intelligent person, you can see from the way they behave. You know, intelligent person. You can go there and get the certificate. Does not make you intelligent. Right? So a lot of men have to
thank you, lovers.
That. Anyway, Phrankleen, I'll leave you. Let me stay and
I'm gonna bring hold on. Hawa, have you gone? Oh, you're there. Just stay right there, Hawa. I'll bring you back on. Let me bring on this brother. Elevated one.
Hey, finally I made it on here. Hey, how are you today?
I'm all right, brother.
Right. So my take on these things, I'll talk quickly because I don't want to be, inciting some kind of hatred here. But these issues can be so tricky. It's very psychological too along the way, because as time goes on, these individuals, they get so entwined together that it will be very difficult to walk away. So in terms of this parents-in-law, I've seen this happen in so many places. Even I'm a testament to it. But the idea is, when it comes to people going into the affairs of husband and wives, parents trying to find out how much they make, this will create a lot of issues. This should be a no-no in the first place. So I would say the best way to go about it is to just keep what you make as secret as possible, from outsiders, from the marriage, because everybody has their own interest. The husband has their own interest in the home. The wife does. The outsiders too, they do. Friends do sometimes. I mean, I've seen situations where friends will ask you, about how much do you make? Or they try to throw the questions at you different ways. Somehow you sleep and tell them what it is. And you don't know who's envious of your situation. So I'll say, You know, just keep it as secret as possible. Ease, beauty, a lot of things, you know, just like somebody said earlier, they said there should have been red flags. There would have been red flags that people will look at. You know, they'll think, oh, I'll just, things will work out, you know, but eventually it becomes a big problem. Things start happening. The best thing I will advise each and every one of on this, what's it called, show is that they should desist from creating problems that will end up costing them their freedom to the point where, you know, they maybe will be jailed for doing certain things, harming somebody. It's been all over the United States where, you know, like people get into this type of things and, you know, they end up killing, one person end up killing the other. And whoever is caught doing things like that might end up in prison for a very long time. So, but in this particular case, I'll just say, these couple, if they still want to go on the way they've been, they have to, you know, like kind of shield themselves from everybody else. That's the way I will say it.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Hawaii. Kazim, I'll bring you on in a moment. Get ready.
Yeah. I just wanted to say something. Most of the people responding are like looking at external influence and all that. Let us assume that, okay, there were no red flags. Let us assume that there was bad parenting. So I always say to myself, you know, I always have a talk with myself. You teach people how to treat you. So you keep blaming your parents. Okay, let us say there was bad parenting, or just leave the parents alone. But Chidi, to respond to Chidi's point, Chidi's sister saying they shouldn't give her phone number to the dad because he doesn't want the dad to interfere. No, that is not healthy. Give the number to your dad, but still be able to tell your dad no. Look your father in the eye and tell him, this is what I want, this is what I don't want. And he wouldn't do that.
A lot of these folks can't. That's what I have a problem
with. If he crosses the boundary, tell him to his face
and say no. They can't. Because they've conditioned us in Africa.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
Oh, if you do that, you're going to be cursed. Oh, you're going to die early in life. Just nonsense.
Okay, then you should give them examples. Like we don't have to be rude to them. Tell them in a very polite way. You can be politely rude. You can be politely rude. Yes. Just say it to them in a way that it will cut them. Like when they're sleeping in the night, they won't forget that. Like you can't keep running away from your dad. How many times are you going to change your number? So you have to face it, and if you don't face it, it will keep on. It will be a vicious cycle going on and on and on and on. And then I think we should stop blaming people outside. We should look at ourselves, the relationship. You are the ones. Two parties are in the relationship. You allowed the people to come inside. So I think we should stop blaming the outside people. That's just what I wanted to say.
Thank you. Kazim. I can't hear you now, bro. There's something wrong with your connection. Sorry. Yo, fam.
Hey, yo, can you hear me?
Hello? I can hear you. Move closer to the mic, please.
Yo, what about now?
Yeah, better. Go on.
Hey, what's going on? At the end of the day, man, you got to keep your family, your parents away from your relationship as far as information. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, that's one of the reasons why your father give you away to your husband. You know what I'm saying? Don't discuss personal issues. If you're going through troubles and shit, like things like that, you got to, talk with your husband and communicate. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of I guess Nigerian kids or whatever, they don't like to disrespect their parents. You can still talk about situation without being disrespected, you know what I'm talking about? So just keep everything in house. Don't discuss among with your friends because, they can tend to mess up your relationships.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So as far as the guy, if it's not working out, try your best. Talk, go to counseling if you have to. But at the end of the day, you don't have to take anything from a woman, any disrespect. You feel me? So that's all I have, man. But
thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Morris.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, man.
Appreciate you, man. I appreciate you having me on the show, man. First of all, man, I really want to say, man, you're doing a fantastic job, brother. Ever since I've been listening to your channel, man, bro, you've changed my mindset like 100% because, sometimes you're like stuck in your own world thinking, man, there's certain things I need to do as far as like family and all of that stuff. And, you have this guilty conscience hunting you and all of that, So, but man, ever since I've been watching your show, I've really been able to say no to a lot of people, honestly, because I used to be Santa Claus, sending money all the way every time back home. But now I think, I'm putting my money together. And also, just on the side note, I did email you about the Agron real estate stuff. So, I mean, whenever you can, just
I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you, bro.
Appreciate it, boss. So on this note, I'm going to be real quick. I'm going to be real quick on this. I actually just feel like, the problem sometimes with us Africans, I mean, no knock on anybody, is sometimes I feel like we get the concept of marriage all mixed up. A lot of us sometimes go into marriage, we don't know if we want to be in the, especially most of us in the diaspora, we don't know if we really want to be in the traditional side of marriage or we want to be more on the modern side of marriage. To me, I feel like the day you get married to someone, you swore secrecy. First and foremost, why am I discussing my finances with my parents? That's the first question. Like, why is my wife discussing how much I am making with her parents? Because those are things that we would have had to iron out first and foremost before we even go say yes to each other. Look, it's two people coming together. We have to learn to create a separation. At some point, yes, just because of the way African parents are, they still believe you are my child forever and ever. I mean, to be honest with you, last week I literally had to check my father. I told him, I said, look, I was your child when I was under your roof. I haven't been under your roof now for years. I'm a grown man with kids. So there's certain things you cannot say to me anymore. There's certain things that we have to learn how, like right now, you're not parenting me anymore, because if I was still under your roof, you can parent me, but there's certain, like I'm at an age right now where I've been paying my bills for over 20 years. So you can't say certain things to me. I respect your opinion. I respect where you're coming from. I respect what you have to say, but I'm going to run my family the way I want to run my family. Whether you like it or not, no disrespect.
They would want to apply emotional blackmail to suggest that.
Absolutely. So the lady who said Chidi, when Chidi was saying her sister doesn't want to talk to the father. See, I had to go through that process with my dad. And when the other lady came on, I was like, yeah, she doesn't think you have to like cut your father off completely. For me, I told my father several times over the years, and he still keeps doing the same thing. There was a time I literally had to cut him off just to be able to make a statement, to let him know, dude, you need to understand your boundaries. Especially with my mom also, because I'm like what you call mommy's boy. But at some point in time, I had to put a boundary because I don't want my wife to start feeling insecure around my mother, because you know how that is. My mom will start comparing. So one day I had to literally tell my mom, I said, look, I grew up with you in the same house. You're not perfect. So don't ever think my wife is going to be perfect. So as long as I love her, she's fine with me. So a lot of times I feel like we African kids, we don't have that ability to be able to look at our parents in the face and say, whoa, this is the line. You can't cross this line. When it comes to do with my wife, you cannot cross that line. So sometimes that's what it comes down to. We have to be able to understand, like talking about finances and all of that. That's even like we're trying to deal with the disease. We're supposed to be worried about the symptoms. Like when, let's take care of it at the symptom level. So how do we handle a situation where we can learn how to create separation? That's the most important thing. My father and my mother don't need to know what's going on with my wife. I don't care what's happening. I don't care if my wife is slapping me every day. I don't care whatever it is going on. That's my relationship.
I hope not.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I mean? That's my relationship.
Of course.
That's what I chose. So I feel like that's where it kind of starts from. It starts from creating that separation, understanding that you are now an adult. You don't need money, and that is validation for nothing. Whatever decision you make, you are grown enough to face the consequences.
Thank you, my brother, man. Thank you. Appreciate you, Morris. Good points.
You are grown enough to face the consequences.
Thank you, my brother, man. Thank you. Shalom. Appreciate you, Morris. Good points. Right. Shalom's not there. Wealthy man.
Hello, Phrankleen. Hello, Phrankleen. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Hi, everyone. My little contribution to this would be, for the guys,
I can't hear you now.
Specifically for the guys, I think men should stop marrying without money. That is my own take on this. Starting from now, men should stop getting married without having, without financially buying.
Can you come close to your mic, please?
They should get money just like the Igbos in Nigeria. They don't get married without men are the head of the family according to African traditions. So we have to be financially okay before we get married. We know women, when they are in a position of money, we know what they do. They take control of the house. Women no longer submit to their husband. This is the dispensation we're living right now. We know the rights of these women. They clamoring every day for equality. So when it comes to
Wealthy man, I'm struggling to hear you, and the point you were making as well. Bit naff. Shalom.
Hello, Phrankleen.
Hello.
Hello, Phrankleen. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, how are you? I just love this program. I love this program. But for me, what I see in marriage, your family can't determine your marriage. Maybe because I don't have a father. My father died long time ago. Died long time ago. So he doesn't know anything about what is happening in my life. But my mother that is alive does not know nothing about my marriage. Even when I'm going through tough and things, she does not know nothing at all about what is going on in my home. But for your parents to start asking you how much is your husband earning, and you're opening your mouth to tell them that lady, she doesn't want to have a husband. That's what I can see. That's my own point. She's the one that is immature, not the husband. Because if my mom should come and ask me now, how much is your husband earning? I will ask her, what is your business with my marriage? It doesn't concern you. So that lady she's the one that doesn't want to be in a relationship, not the man at all. So I don't blame the man in any way. Whether there's red flag, yellow flag, orange flag, whatever flag, if you're going into a relationship, you should know that according to what they say, that for better, for worse. So when he has money, you should at least respect him. And when he doesn't have, you should respect him as well. And I know that the man will do the same to you. So why should you be listening to your parent that this is my parent want me to leave my husband because of so and so? Anyway, that's my own contribution. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Very short, straight to the point. Thank you very, very much. Joshua. Are you there? Where is all these people, man? It's like you join the studio and then you disappear into your kitchen, or you. Hello? Can you hear me? Willie Bees.
Phrankleen Baba, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Excellent. Nice one. Good job on everything you've been doing. It's fantastic. So, quick points. First and foremost, I think folks need to grow up, not just the parents, but also the kids. Two, it has to also do with the upbringing. You need to understand some parents, lack of better word, they come from poverty mentality. Because to me, that's one of the only reasons why you would want to know what your son-in-law or your or your wife or daughter-in-law is making, regardless, vice versa. Now, on the red flags, some folks are good actors and actresses, so you couldn't put that because during courtship they would, act very well. You wouldn't see any red flags, and if you do, probably it's just a hint that you think, oh, it's a one-off off day. But when you now get married, you're under the same roof, then you now
and then
see
they unleash.
Exactly, they unleash the dragon. Thank you. So with that aspect, it should be dead on arrival, regardless if it's the man or the woman. You see any red flags after you're married, has to be dead on arrival. Now, when it goes into the father-in-law and whatnot, it's very, very simple. Since they don't respect themselves, you shouldn't put it on yourself to respect them. You give it to them right there and then. This is your home. You're not paying my bills. You have nothing. It's none of your business. Anyone that's trying to get in, just let them know it's not going to happen. They know the boundaries. If they pass it, check them, reset the boundaries. And on the emotional things for the African parents, a whole lot of folks in diaspora need to wake up away from this slumber of emotional blackmail. It happens a lot, and they just have to do a reawakening of the mind. You need to stand up. There's no God that would say you are cast down because you're speaking up for yourself or you want to take the short end of the stick. It shouldn't happen. And a woman or a man that dilly-dallies and takes other folks' ideas or chit-chat into their affairs is basically not ready to be a married person. Simple as. And if you can't take it, go out the door. That's it.
Thank you, Willie. Thank you. Right. It's been amazing. Thank you for your contributions. I hope we've learned something. That's me done. Don't forget to smash the like button. Smash the subscribe button. If you haven't, give consideration to look by looking through my playlist for the rest of my videos and stuff. Follow me on Instagram at Phrankleen. If you're on Clubhouse at Peculiar, AM, then Peculiar, one word. Peculiar. All right. Follow me on Instagram. Thank you for the contribution. If you want to bang me an email about wanting the Adron Homes application pack, footchannel1960@gmail.com. Look in the description below. You will find my email address. All right. Just say, Phrankleen, please send me the application pack. Rita, I'll get in touch with you. Make sure that when I send you the application pack tonight, you're buying that parcel of land with Adron Homes, or else we're going to fight. I'm joking. Thank you to everyone that's contributed. I appreciate you. That's me done. And I'll most definitely catch you in the very next one. All right. So, peace and love, man. Bye-bye.